You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
It used to be that calling a film a turkey was an insult. Nowadays, there's actually an audience for some of the worst movies ever made.
This movie sucks.
Baby, you are gonna go broke showing turkeys like these.
Now we're talking turkey.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
We cannot help but love bad movies.
It's turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Let's Talk Turkeys. We are in a new season now, and I am flying solo this year, but I'm not going to talk these movies alone. I am going to be bringing on an amazing array of guest hosts with me. And for tonight's movie, I am being joined by... This is an edit. My guest is the Bad Movie Night with a K, who I befriended on the Bluesky. And I am so happy that he is joining me here tonight to talk this film. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. It's fantastic to be here.
Oh, awesome. And I'm excited to talk this movie because I gave you a list and you chose Equilibrium from 2002, which I'm surprised a lot of people don't know about. I feel like they're missing out on this one.
If the resistance compromises it, we are doomed.
I will redouble my efforts, sir, to locate the resistance and bring them all to the Council's fair justice.
I can only hope one day to be as uncompromising as you.
Let me ask you something. Why hate you alive?
What you see, Preston, is gone. Everything that makes us what we are faded away. And you know what I'm gonna do now?
If we can succeed in disrupting this supply for even one day, our cause will be won by human nature itself. Will you do it?
Remember me.
Be careful, Preston. You're treading on my dreams.
Let the listeners know, and me, because I didn't probe too much ahead of time, what attracts you to this film? What's your relationship with it? First time you saw it?
Oh, sure. Well, for me, this might be a bit of a throwback to some of the younger listeners, but back in the day, we used to go to these places called the movie rental. What were they? I think it was like a Family Video or a Blockbuster, that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it caught my eye many years ago, back and when dinosaurs roamed the earth. But anyways,
It had great cover art.
the cover art. Well, it depends because I've seen the other cover art that they use,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks terrible.
The one I'm referring to looks kind of Matrixy.
Very Matrixy, which they definitely embrace that. But if you Google the Equilibrium cover art, the other version that they do have, if I see if I can just find it.
Sure.
It's one of those weird images that's not really an image here. Let me just screenshot it. The one I've seen is it's the two of them standing there, but it's got some kind of a Photoshop filter on it.
that caught your eye though in the video store?
Well, the one that caught my eye is the one that the one that's more matrixy. It's got the blue background, and it's got, you can actually tell who's the people's faces are that are on it.
Yeah.
But the thing that actually did catch my attention the most is the pull quote from the front of the DVD is "Forget the Matrix," which was a bold claim to make in the year of our Lord 2002. And I was just like, wait, what is this? I've never seen this. And it's got Christian Bale and Tay Diggs, and it's like the same year that Reign of Fire came out, actually. Kind of an odd year for Christian Bale. Two movies that are universally disliked on Rotten Tomatoes critic score, but have a decent...
love them.
But the audience ratings, it's one of those, 40% Rotten Tomatoes critic score and 81% popcorn meter.
Yep. And that's why it's a turkey, and we can cover it on the show because it's a 40% critics. But I think the audience has it right. This movie's damn fun. But you were going to tell me the first time you saw it, what did you think?
Well, the very first time I saw it, it actually kind of blew my mind because I wasn't super exposed to a ton of what I would say to be kind of more of a choreographed fight scene, kind of very interesting, over the top. It's got a mix of the gun combat and the hand-to-hand combat. There's sword fighting at some points, and all the little gadgets that they throw in there. And the story was pretty well executed, in my opinion. And just the progression of the character, it was just very interesting to me to watch them kind of evolving. Like, he starts off as this, like, completely blank slate, zero remorse, zero emotions, and then you kind of see the humanity start to spill through, and they do it in a very interesting way. And the cinematography in this movie is way better than it has any right to be.
Oh, agreed. Fully agreed. So Kurt Wimmer is the writer-director.
You want to know what else he wrote, directed?
Please, yes.
Ultraviolet, 2006's Ultraviolet, another extremely critically panned movie, but I think the audience did not like that one. But according to interviews, he said that Ultraviolet is an unofficial sequel to Equilibrium, and it takes place in the same universe, allegedly, at least according to him. Unfortunately, nobody saw it because it was...
Right? Now, I remember watching it and not thinking much of it. It was Mila Jovovich, right?
Yes,
from Resident Evil.
And its claim to fame is it has one of the universally lowest Rotten Tomatoes scores on Rotten Tomatoes, sitting at 9%.
Oh my god! Yeah, no wonder I don't remember that one. So, I've got for Kurt Wimmer, writer of The Beekeeper, Salt, and the Point Break and Total Recall remakes, which I did not see.
But it is interesting that he got tasked with all these reboots. It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're sort of dystopian reboots.
So I wanted to mention the budget on this movie was $20 million, and it did a worldwide box office of 5.3. So hopefully they were trying to make it up in video sales, I guess. I don't know if they ever did.
I don't know. I know that the opening weekend for the movie was somewhere in the range of, I think it was $550,000.
Dang. Another fun piece of trivia for this movie, because we'll just get a trivia sort of out of the way up front here, is the fictional fighting style. Well, it's not fictional. Somebody did gun kata for this movie. Which
yes. The writer-director, Kurt Wimmer,
is it Kurt Wimmer?
Gun kata, which is the most neckbeard thing you've ever heard of. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the subreddit r/mall ninja shit, but it would fit in quite well there.
Oh, that's funny.
Those places where, those malls where places in the mall where you can buy a katana and like some throwing stars.
Right? So yeah, I was shocked that this did not do well. Over the years, it's grown to a little bit of an underground following because a few people reached out to me, and when I suggested this movie, were interested to talk it. I mean, you were the winner because you responded first, but then people were like, "Oh my God, yes, I know that movie," and I thought, really? I thought everybody hated this movie, but not everybody. First time I saw it was when I worked at a video store and it was on the shelves and I was like, gotta watch it. It looks cool as hell. I'm into Christian Bale, like American Psycho. We're all good here. Didn't love it right out the gate, but over the years I own it and I've watched it repeatedly. And that's why we're covering it. Another reason today is because it was on my wish list. I am obsessed with this movie. And Just need to bring it to the masses.
It feels like an indie movie almost, despite the $200 million but or $20 million budget.
20.
Yeah, sorry, pardon me. I don't want to add an extra zero in there. There are definitely times where it very much feels like the movie costs $3 to make, and then there's other points in the movie where it's actually rather impressive what they can do,
Agreed. It's
given those
very
constraints.
agreed. It's very for people that don't know, Fahrenheit 451 or 1984 meets The Matrix. And they tried really hard for that. And we'll get into it, what it's about as we do the plot walkthrough, but it's an interesting mix of what they're trying to do here. I do want to mention Kurt Wimmer himself has 2 cameos in this film. Did you see that in your trivia?
I did. I think didn't it donated his hand for one of the shots, I believe.
In 1 minute in, which I could not find it, he's a silhouetted figure. Like, who would know that? But I did find him at the 57-minute mark, where he is a rebel soldier who is pushed up against a column and executed. I did have to pause it and, back it up and try to isolate which one he is, but that one is noticeable.
Is he the guy that gave Christian Bale the very noticeable, respectful nod right before he was executed and telegraphing it very obviously for everyone to see?
So funny. Christian Bale, now that you mention it, this is the star of this film, along with Taye Diggs and is it Dominic Purcell? Yeah, and Emily Watson is in this. Sean Bean is in this. Sean Pertwee, who I am obsessed with from werewolf movies, is in this. We also have William Fichtner, Angus McFadden, John Keogh, and Christian Carmen are the top billed cast. Now, Christian Bale did all of his own stunts except for 2 really tricky flips they had a stunt guy do. Did you know that?
Oh, wow.
That he was him doing all of this?
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. And the reason I say that is this movie now in the year 2025 very much gives me John Wick energy.
Yes. Yes, the finale does that for me.
'Cause it feels like this is a very much a precursor John Wick movie, and it even involves puppies causing mass murder.
Oh my God. Yes, we will get to the puppy. This movie made a list of the top impressive kill counts for a single motion picture. Out of the top 15, this one ranks at number 11 on the list with 118 kills to a single guy. So I guess the only person to beat Christian Bale with just the single guy kills was a movie called Shoot 'Em Up with Clive Owens.
Oh,
Have you seen that one? I have not.
I can picture the poster for it, but I haven't seen it. It's got like I think the font has bullet holes shot into it, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Well, the reason
The
it
cover
stuck
art.
out, it was impressive, is because these 2 guys in these 2 films had the single kill count. The rest on the list were all franchise cumulative totals. So in a
Dang.
single movie, yeah, Bale takes out a shit ton of people here. I love every second of it.
Well, according to my piece of trivia that I found related to that,
Mhm.
he kills exactly 50% of the people in this movie.
Oh my God. I'm such a nerd for that stuff. I love that.
The fact that they thought to do it that way and actually make his kills equal to the number of other total kills is just very impressive.
Equal. And there it is in the title.
Equal.
All right, so let's jump in. I'm going to give you the IMDb plot. Let's see how they summarize this. In an oppressive future where all forms of feelings are illegal, a man in charge of enforcing the law rises to overthrow the system and state. What do you think of that? That pretty much sums it up, I think.
Yeah, I can't really get much more concise than that. I think that pretty much does. I mean, there's not, let's be honest, the plot line is very, very simple. But I do think they execute it very well in a lot of ways. There are a couple gripes I have, but we'll get to those, I'm sure.
Okay. Sounds good. And then this is the point where I'm going to tell the listeners, I recommend this film. I think if you like an action film that's just silly fun and you just can check out for 2 hours and have a fucking blast, this is the movie for you. Would you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. I put it right up there. When people tell me they haven't seen 90s action movies or early 2000s action movies, this is on my list of go-tos. This one, The Matrix, the first Matrix, Blade 2, and then usually I'll start delving into more of the earlier 90s stuff like Terminator 2, etc.
Nice.
But it's on my list. It's definitely, I feel like everyone who likes any kind of action would enjoy this movie.
That is the perfect way to put it. So, listeners, we are highly recommending this, both of us. So, if you've never seen the movie, I would say hit pause now, go watch it, and then come back and finish because I don't want to spoil it for you. It's currently available at the time of this recording to rent on Amazon and YouTube. So it's not widely available. You have to pay for it, but I'm going to say worth it for a lot of fun.
Actually, I'm gonna have to correct you there. It is. I just watched it on Pluto TV last night for free.
You did?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
If you don't mind sitting through commercials like a 90s child, and it's absolutely worth if you want to watch it for free.
Yeah, when I watched it a couple of weeks ago, that wasn't on Pluto, but I am so excited. So now, yes, pause it, go watch it, and come back. If you have seen it, hang with us because here we go. All right. So our movie begins with a plain white bold letter title card. We're just jumping right in. We get an opening scene with narration, which listeners of my show know that I fucking hate narration and a scroll. But we get both. Yay!
Hooray!
A man basically says World War III has happened and people don't know who, unclear, kind of collectively decided that society is too volatile and we shouldn't have emotions. And so something called, this always confused me, they made up their own mythology. The grammaton cleric are the people that are like, I just call them the cops in my notes, who seek out and eradicate people who feel.
So grammaton, it comes from tetragrammaton, which apparently is the four-letter word for God in religion. So it's got something to do with, it's kind of like a inquisition of sorts, I guess is what they're alluding to.
That totally tracks because they call the head of the ruler, they call him father. So that makes sense. Okay. Thanks for doing that research that I was too lazy to do.
I just happened to see, because it was in one of the little trivia tidbits about how tetragrammaton is a real word and it means it's got something to do with the letters of the Yahweh or one of the ways that you can say God, and it's written with these four letters, and that's the tetragrammaton somehow. And I'm sure that there's probably it's probably some kind of, I don't know, Catholic thing or something. Sorry, we didn't know tetragrammaton off the top of our heads.
Yes, I am not a religion expert, so we will just have to go with that. That sounds good to me. A fight breaks out. We see the coppers show up, and then we see Sean Bean and Christian Bale get out of a car. They're dressed differently than the rest of the grammaton police people. They're called clerics. I don't know why they chose that. I find that fascinating because to me, cleric also has kind of like a religious-y sounding tone to it.
Yeah, I think that's very much visually, aesthetically, they're very much going for, let's just say that the bad guys in World War II.
Yes, their symbol also reminded me of a swastika-ish.
Oh, extremely. They literally just took it and flipped it, did like a mirror flip.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it is a series of T's, so I guess it's technically fits with tetragrammaton, which is apparently what they're going for with that. I will say that it is a very apparent right away, according to my friend who's kind of an expert on this kind of thing, that this movie was shot in not in America, in the former Soviet side of Germany. So actually, what would have been East Berlin, or formerly East Berlin.
Correct. I am checking because I know I wrote that down somewhere.
I know there's other places that it was shot.
Yes, mostly in Berlin. They wanted the architecture.
But you can definitely see some of the spots. I was actually trying to figure out where they shot those. And they were saying one of the areas might have been where Hitler did the German Olympics.
Oh,
which
interesting.
Would be very fat, because we know with all the columns and the kind of Roman architecture that they have. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but that's what I've heard secondhand. So
no, that seems to track with what I found in the research. That's fascinating. I love that he went for authentic looking to what they were trying to tell in the story.
And actually, the body armor and the guns are all very European. They're AK-47s and they're German automatic weapons as well, apparently.
Okay, well, unless they show up in GoldenEye, the video game, I wouldn't know what they are.
Right?
All right, so they hop into this building and there's a fight that's gonna ensue. But what I like is instead of just busting down the door, oh no, Mr. Christian Bale has to run, knock down the door, and slide on it into the room and then pop up and do a freeze frame. It's so fucking cool. What a fun way to start this.
It is really cool, but about the fourth time I've watched it, I was just thinking how much shit he would eat if they didn't hit time that so perfectly, and he just runs straight into the closed door.
It would be a different movie, yes.
Or the fact that they just kind of sit there and whisper to each other awkwardly for about 10 seconds before he does anything.
I'm so happy you said that number because I literally went back a second time and timed it, and there is 10 seconds of dead fucking quiet and pitch black. I thought the movie froze.
I think everybody checks their movie when that moment happened because it's so quiet and it's so pitch black, and then it contrasts with him doing his gun kata, which they went a little heavy with the whoosh noises, I will say, but gun kata, the presentation of the gun kata itself is. I think you can't argue that it's not really cool.
Yeah, when this scene happens and he just literally takes everybody out, it's bonkers. It's absolutely nuts. And if you're watching this for the first time and you're not absolutely in on this movie right now, turn it off because this will not be for you.
No, if you can't make it through that part where his hands like snap too, like they're on, then the whoosh whoosh. Shoot, 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 kills everybody in the room. Which the whole combination of him running into the door blowing open, him sliding into the door, them shooting all the lights out, him killing everyone in the room.
It's nuts.
And then the gun being white hot at the end of it. Although the effect hasn't aged super well, but it's still very badass.
Agreed. And I'll tell you what, Christian Bale, excellent casting in my opinion, because he has the best male resting bitch face I've ever seen. He can look emotionless, which is probably why he got cast as Batman later.
Oh, yeah.
So they are raiding this place because there is art, books,
Oh, no.
and things that tie to feelings. Can't have it. So they're going to burn it all. And I like that they authenticate, in quotes, the Mona Lisa before they burn it.
Yeah, a lot of art critics were very upset about the fact that they misrepresented what the Mona Lisa is. It looks like apparently it's not wrapped that way. It's on some kind of a different frame or different canvas. So
And it's not that big in real life either.
mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing they had to do that for the movie so we could see it.
They had to have something that was very recognizable, but at the same time,
Agreed.
what is this what is this technology that can check the image and be like, hey, this is the authentic one, this is the original, got to burn this one, as opposed to if it was a copy, they wouldn't burn it.
Right, I was thinking that too. They would burn it all anyway. But Sean Bean has snuck a book into his pocket, and on the car ride home, Bale calls him out on it and says, "Why do you have that book?" And Bean says, "Oh, I'm taking it into the evidence myself to make sure it gets logged." And Christian Bale gives him this bitch please look.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really? Is that really what you're doing? So I guess we're supposed to pick up that Christian Bale's character is highly intuitive and can tell when people are feeling.
Well, in case you don't notice that, he out and out says it in like several times later on in the movie too. People literally just walk up to him and go, "Why are you so good at your job?"
I never thought of it that way, but you're right. So
But, yeah.
the city where they go is all this big stone and metal, very Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow looking. There's like big blimps or
extremely.
zeppelins. What did you think of this overall as how the utopian city is supposed to be in the future? I'm guessing it's all gray because with no feelings, why do we need color?
Well, I would be replete not to mention that the one very odd thing about the car before this, or actually during this scene,
Mhm.
the fact that they painted the interior of the car stark white, completely, top to bottom interior of the car, and you can tell that is not the original color it was supposed to be. Somebody definitely went in there with a paintbrush and went over some of the details on that one. But as far as the presentation of the city, the CGI is definitely a little rough.
A little rough, yeah.
Especially considering that the year before Lord of the Rings came out, the first Fellowship of the Rings, and this is the CGI we're getting in 2002.
I'm
But
gonna guess the budget on Lord of the Rings was a little bit more significant than the paltry 20 million we got for this one.
no, that's true. They
That could
probably
be
spent
why.
that much on chainmail alone for that movie.
Right? On
I would say
beards and glue.
it's not bad, and in fact, it almost gives it a sort of '90s cheese that I like. The CGI being a little bit clunky at times, a little like some of the shadows and the shading very much gives that late '90s CGI vibe of like, okay, we're not quite there, but we're getting there. We're making some progress, and some of the more practical shots though that they do have are quite good in that opening sequence where they show them kind of going into the city. One of the funny things is that there's a little like kind of a squat looking truck that sort of looks like an armored truck. Apparently that was an airport tug that they repainted and reused, an airport tug, and then there also is an airport fire truck, which if you're familiar with those, they've also got that really squat body on them. And
Oh, that's so cool.
they look very futuristic. They have like hexagonal wheel wells and they're very low to the ground. So apparently they only had access to one airport fire truck, so they just repainted numbers on different serial numbers on it and reused it for various shots.
See, ingenuity in filmmaking. This is what I appreciate. In this city now, we see people out, they're listening to a speech, they're watching monitors, they're showing actual Hitler footage. I was surprised by that. Sean Pertwee, father, is addressing over a video monitor the people. And throughout the whole film, this is a pattern. It's his video, his face talking, spewing all of the, I don't know, rules that their society is supposed to live by now and how good it is that we don't have feelings. And thank God we've prevented war. And that's basically over and over and over throughout the whole film that's happening in the background.
Oh yeah, very much that's the big time 1984 vibes of 24/7 propaganda at all times. And the stuff, if you listen to what he's talking about, he's saying, you know, this leader killed this many millions of people because of, you know, their feelings, and this is why we don't need this anymore in our lives. And I'll be honest, he doesn't make a terrible point until you hear the counterpoint from the people who are not on the sci-fi equivalent of Prozac.
Right? The drug, they call it prosium.
Which, fun fact, it was originally going to be called Librium.
Oh, yes, because they are in the city of Libria or country, unclear. He just calls them Librians.
It was originally going to be called Librium, but then they failed to realize that Librium is actually a real anti-anxiety drug.
That's hysterical. So they're like, nope, can't use that.
So they went with, they said, well, we can't say Prozac, we can't say Librium. How about Prosium?
That works. It's more catchy than some of the real life ones I've been seeing commercials for. So I do wanted to ask you about the irony of this whole motion picture, though, if you feel the same way. Since we're right off the top here, the whole point of the society being placid and taking this drug and having no feelings is because we're trying to prevent violence, hate, and war. Now, the way that we avoid this is these teams of tetragrammaton clerics or whatever go in and literally slaughter roomfuls of people to achieve the peace.
Right.
I find that quite ironic that have a peaceful society can be achieved if we kill everybody who's rebelling. Like, what?
We gotta murder all the violence out of these people.
Yes, that is the best way. Okay, good. So it's not just me. I thought, what a bizarre way to handle it.
Well, and they're always talking about how the console they're really going to ramp up their efforts now. And it's like everywhere they go, they murder everyone and burn everything. How can it be any different than it was? How can it be any more severe than that? Like,
thank you. Yes. And then we see everybody stop when their alarm goes off on their wristwatch and the bell in the city dings, and everybody quickly injects their neck with this little gun that has the prosium drug in it. I would rather take a pill. I don't want to be poking my neck. Would you be down for that? I would not.
Well, this might be the medical geek in me talking, but didn't they not have automatic insulin pumps in 2002? Couldn't people just be on a steady drip of this stuff without having to inject themselves constantly?
Okay, see, so yours is better, pills or a constant supply, no poke in the neck. Like, forget it.
Or they could just put it in the water supply, like we conspiracy theories seem to think we do already.
Don't give anybody ideas. Strike that from the record. So we see some people together now practicing the martial art of gun kata, which I'm gonna keep making fun of, but I'll tell you what, when it's actually happening, scenes are happening with the fighting, it's fucking cool. I can't look away.
See, the cool part about gun kata is they don't give you what gun kata is until about 30 minutes into the movie. So you're kind of left to sort of figure it out for yourself. And honestly, it makes it a lot better because if they had come right out and in the opening credits been like, Tetragrammaton clerics study in the ancient art of gun kata, which uses statistics to take advantage of the most likely position to shoot from, it's like, okay, you're giving away too much. Because like you said, when you first watched the movie and he breaks into that door and you're just like, what kind of super powered nonsense is going on here?
But then you find out it's not. Like all these guys are training to fight this way. So we learn in this next scene that Bale's name is Preston. He is a cleric. He goes to meet the Vice Consul DuPont, who is on the Council of the Tetragrammaton, representing Father's voice. DuPont points out that Preston is a prodigy because he can instantly tell if somebody's feeling.
Something interesting here, the statue of Atlas that they have, that
Yes.
map of the Earth is not Earth. If you look at it, it's like an alternative universe Earth because it's not none of the continents really line up anywhere as far as I could tell anyway from what I was looking at. So I'm wondering if that's their subtle way of saying this isn't Earth, this is science fiction completely.
I think you're right. I did pick that out as well, and I did appreciate that it's Atlas holding up the Earth is what is the only piece of art in the council hall here. As just the irony, like not irony, the similarity that he's Atlas with the weight of the world on his shoulders, he's holding it up, and then here's the council. That's their job. They've got the weight of the world on their shoulders because they're trying to make sure we stay peaceful. I love that little touch.
Those poor people. I'm just wondering who they commissioned to build that statue, and did they kill them immediately afterwards?
Right?
You're too good at this.
Had to be feeling to be good at it. In this interaction, we learn Preston has a wife who was incinerated 4 years ago for being a sense offender, the people who feel. And I laugh so much that when some people in this movie, when they say sense offender and they say it really fast, I'm like, ooh, don't slip that tongue because that's real close to something else.
You just picture a guy with a handlebar mustache going door to door saying, I'm a registered sense offender.
Right? I live in your neighborhood. You had to know.
I'm required by the Tetragrammaton to disclose.
So we find out he has a daughter and a son, and the boy is in line to become a cleric just like him. DuPont asks Preston how did he miss that his wife was feeling? If he's so good at this, how was there a lapse there? I felt that this was a weird time for him to point this out because it was 4 years ago that the bitch died. You're just now asking him, are you going to do better in the future? Because you really dropped the ball there 4 years ago. Has he never talked to this man in 4 years? I guess not. Very weird.
Well, I almost feel like he was probing him a little bit to see if there was any kind of a break in the poker face. I feel like he does enjoy doing that to some extent, but it gets a little muddy with the plot line later because they make some claims that are frankly a bit extraordinary. I don't know if you want to get into it now or towards when it actually happens, but
oh, sir, we will get there for sure.
Yes.
I will add, though, a DuPont played by Angus McFadden. I'd only seen him in a short-lived TV program with Skeet Ulrich called Miracles, and I really enjoyed him on that. In this, I don't enjoy him. He is playing this role perfectly. He is the most smarmy motherfucker, and I want to slap his face. That means he's doing his job, right?
Yeah, he's oddly very intimidating, but also like kind of pathetic towards the end, which
Agreed.
is a very interesting choice. And they make some very interesting casting choices with the movie because I feel like if it had gone in a slightly different direction with a few of the character choices, it would have been a worse movie for it. For example, having Taye Diggs' character actually sort of have a little bit of emotion at times. You kind of have to, otherwise it's just like two robots just talking to each other. So I appreciate that. I was going to say
a good casting choice.
I was going to say that too about the kid, the Preston's kid. Very much gives Hitler Youth vibes, like the uniform down to everything, and then grooming them to, so and so cried today. Should I report him?
Yeah.
Did you know who auditioned for the role of Preston's son in this movie? And it would have
His
been a very
son.
different film.
No, who?
Daniel Radcliffe. Well,
Really?
apparently he auditioned for that role because he didn't get it because he must have been too
Wow.
busy doing something else back in 2002. I don't know what it would
Wait,
have
when
been
was
now.
Harry Potter?
Yeah, exactly.
That's like Harry Potter age, right? Like 9?
Yeah, that's got to be right around the time. Well, right. Yeah, he would have been. That would have been. Wait, when did the first Harry Potter come out? I want to say that was.
Sorcerer's Stone was 2001. So this was right around the time of Harry Potter. So he must have not gotten this and then gotten Harry Potter.
How unfortunate for him.
How unfortunate for him that he missed out on
No, dang
Equilibrium
it.
and
He
had to
missed that
do it.
Equilibrium fame.
Could you imagine? Oh my God, if I could interview and ask him one question, that's what I are you sad you missed out on Equilibrium? He has such a good sense of humor about life and things, though he'd probably joke about it. So Preston now is watching footage of his car ride with Sean Bean, and he's looking at him real like, something's not right there. He goes to see if the book that he had in his pocket was actually logged into evidence, and we see that it was not. And I thought it was funny that in this weird dystopian future, I assume future planet, whatever, there's no computers. I'm guessing because it's like living behind the Iron Curtain where like you don't want people having access to information. So there's no cell phones, there's no computers, none of that. So they have an actual book like with handwritten evidence logged in it.
It looked like a giant ledger. Well, they do have a little bit of technology because that's how they project the image of the father throughout the city later on in the movie. That's how they reveal it to be because he
Yeah.
destroys the computers to that end. But I think the only time they reference a phone is there's a landline phone in one of the scenes towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's like, oh, okay.
They call the outer parts the nether, and they go
Hmm.
to the nether to search for Sean Bean, who is tucked away hiding reading his poetry book. Preston finds him. They have a back and forth banter about society. And, what I was wondering was the drugs only suppress feelings and emotions. So people who in the future are in dealing with like mental illness or other things, like does this drug have the same effect on them? I'm wondering, like, I wonder what goes all into this thought process of how we're going to control people, because our minds aren't all the same, our bodies aren't all the same. So I was like, wow, this is a big liberty, like a big swing to be like, this one drug tames everybody.
You think it would cause depression more than anything if you don't ever feel and you kind of never get to experience any color in your life or
I wanted to ask you this too. It also, since it suppresses feelings, which love and passion and all that, and sexual urges are all suppressed. What is the motivation to procreate? How do you procreate if you're not feeling like having sex with somebody? How is this even happening? You're not cuddling up with your significant other because you're not feeling it. That just seemed odd to me as well.
well, if you notice that the bedding arrangement that they have is actually look kind of looks like futon cushions, like does not look comfortable at all. There's actually a really nice shot of Christian Bale laying down, and you can see that half of the bed is completely not made, and that's revealed to be the side of the bed that obviously his wife had slept on, and just that kind of aerial shot of looking down on it is just it's kind of nicely profound in that moment. But I do think that it is kind of odd that they don't they don't really address because it really wouldn't have taken much. They could have maybe had like a little snippet of a broadcast saying, do your duty to your country and sire a child today so that the future can move on. And
Yeah, I was missing that.
it's very dispassionate, the movie, in that way at first, and then it very kind of slowly builds up to that. But
Oh, I know. Okay, we'll get there.
yeah, we'll get
Um,
it. I'm jumping ahead.
No, you're fine. So he finds Bean reading this book. He has a gun. Preston has a gun. Preston says, don't do it. And as Bean is reaching for the gun, he shoots him dead. And then Tay Diggs is there. I guess he's assigned to be Preston's new partner now.
Mhm.
So
Well, you
they
can
arrive.
see he's actually in the car with him before the scene starts, which is something I didn't notice until about the fourth time I watched it. Of like, oh, okay, that's so he's the one that drove him there. He didn't.
Mhm,
That makes
mhm.
sense.
So they arrive home, and Tay Diggs says, so you and your partner were close. To me, that phrase insinuates bonding, which requires feelings, does it not?
I would think so.
That's a weird question to ask. So he adds that he is pleased to be assigned as Preston's partner. Again, isn't that a feeling? Being pleased? You mentioned this earlier that Taye Diggs does some feeling things in this movie, which is out of place because he's not supposed to feel.
Oh, very much so, especially towards the end. But
Yeah.
as we said, we'll get there. But one thing they do a good job of addressing is how the language hasn't changed, like this idea of, betrayal and all this. They still use the words, but they kind of don't know what they mean anymore. So I think that when he says he's pleased, that it's almost like he's being formal. I do wonder though if he is on to him immediately, like if he is looking for him to be,
Mm.
to slip up, like because he does say, he was
Oh,
hoping to use him to advance his position, and
you're
he brings it up
right.
later. But I do wonder at what point the cat and mouse game begins, because it could theoretically be right this minute.
Now, okay. Wow. Real time. This is happening right now. You're right. Because I wondered about this at the end. Well, we'll get there at the end, but something that he says, and I was like, wait a minute, that started way earlier in the film. You're right. This is the moment. Okay. Okay. Wow. Cool. Okay. Yay. I'm so proud of myself. We'll get there though.
And it might be also why the other guy was giving him shit about his wife, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of a compounding thing, like, oh, hey, we're just gonna give you a not so subtle nudge in this direction, and then
Yeah. They were setting him up from the get-go here. Oh my God, you're so right. It's all coming into place now. So
was
Preston goes in, like you said, his kid says, "Hey, I saw somebody feeling today. Should I report him?"
mhm.
Preston goes and lays on his bed, and he's like 6 feet and change. And like you said, on this tiny little futon thing, it looks really uncomfortable. No, thank you.
No, he's got to scrunch up, and he
Mm-mm.
and he apparently doesn't move throughout the night, because when he wakes up, he's in the exact same position that he started
That is some sound sleeping, my friend.
in.
So he dreams of his wife and the day she was taken away as being a sense offender. He was unaware that that was happening. We see at the end of the hall his son and daughter standing there, and the son kind of smirks. So it made me wonder, was the son the one that reported her? We don't ever find out. But is that what they're insinuating with this shot?
I think that from a story perspective, the tragedy of that and what it reveals later on, that would make the most sense if you think about, like, if he was the one that caused that to happen, and then because he asks him how long has it been since you've
Yeah.
been off, and he says since mom.
So he maybe felt guilty for reporting her. Oh, okay. Okay. So
'Cause
she
he's definitely keeping up the act of being the little snitch that he is.
He
So.
really is. That's why he beat out Daniel Radcliffe, you see.
Uh, am I the only one too that when his sister was fidgeting and he told her to stop it, I was getting mild on the spectrum vibes a little bit too. Like he can't handle anything out of place.
Well, the
Really
reason he
totally
was telling her to knock it off is because, as we find out later, th're not on the dose right now. And that's a
yeah,
dead giveaway the way she's acting. And he's like, knock it off. Yeah.
yeah. Kids got to learn to act real quick to not act like kids in that world. Because man, yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
You imagine trying to have to pretend to be stone deadpan all the time as a kid. Oh, it'd be terrible.
So this is where, at the end of the nightmare, before he wakes up, the wife runs in before they take her away and she gives him a kiss and they drag her off and he wakes up in a sweat. My question to you, in the grand scheme, the theme of this movie, sure, no big wars, no hate crimes really, en masse, but at what cost? Because no love either. No thank you. Is that something that you think that, are they
Oh
trying to
yeah.
show us that this is a horrible idea?
Well, they get into it with when he starts to interrogate the other woman that very much kind of looks and acts like his wife, like kind of a proxy wife almost. But they get into this of like, why are you alive if you don't feel? What's the point? You're just breathing until you don't until you don't breathe anymore. And they make some very valid points about that. And here's the other pragmatic question: if this is your top guy and is going to be your top guy, and you're expecting him, or he's even among the police force, let's say, of this time, Wouldn't there be a little bit of wiggle room? Like, oh, your wife got caught, but it's fine. We're gonna go ahead and make sure she gets back. Make sure she gets back on her dose, and whatever
Right.
happened to, let's help each other out because that doesn't happen at all. Like the cops are very, very lawful in this movie to the point of like even the guy's like, oh, I recognize you. You're the top cleric. But still, he still immediately is like, nope, you can't have any contraband on you whatsoever. Is it that drilled into them, or are they just
Yeah,
that disloyal to each other?
they're just dicks. That's what my note says. These guys are dicks. No wiggle room whatsoever. And yeah, you're right. The top guy, you think there would be a little bit not forgiving whatsoever, this society.
Well, if you think about it too, they do it in the most traumatic way possible that is almost guaranteed to cause at least one of those three people that were witness to it to potentially go off their dose as well.
So Preston in the morning accidentally drops his morning dose. It breaks on the floor. I was wondering why they don't just come in preloaded syringes so that they aren't little glass vials that you could accidentally drop and break. But I guess that wouldn't serve the story if it was that way.
They do mention that you can adjust the dosage, so maybe it has something to do with that.
Oh, okay.
But the other question I have is if you look at the actual prop injector that they use, it says human, I think it says human hemoglobin detected, which is blood. And then it says sample distributed correctly or something like that. So if this device is designed to detect that you did in fact inject the drug, how is he able to get away with it?
Yes, the not injecting. I know. So his son sees this and says, I assume you're going to log that you broke it and you need a replacement and you're going to go down to Equilibrium and get one. And he's like, oh, of course, of course. And this in my notes is the moment where I wrote, this kid could play young Hitler. Cast him now.
For real. He could have been in that Jojo Rabbit movie.
So
he almost kind of looks like him too.
He does. That's why I wrote that. So Preston says, of course I will. He goes out to breakfast. The son and daughter are acting a little odd. The daughter's twitchy, like you said. It's kind of our clue. If you've seen it more than once, this is our clue that she's not on the dose. We cut to Preston.
Here's the brain baker though.
Mm-hmm.
Did he subconsciously break his own dose on pure kismet that it happened to break right at this integral moment in the plot?
Ooh, deep thoughts. That's a good question. Probably a little bit of both. A little bit column A, column B. I'm going with. So he goes to work. He goes to Equilibrium first, and this was weird to me. The building is closed because of a terrorist threat.
Mm-hmm.
In our peaceful society, we have a terrorist threat. What?
Well, they're going to call it that? Wouldn't they just say it's closed for whatever, any other reason? They can lie. It's not like people are going to be upset that they lied.
Yeah, and then here's the other part. Taye Diggs rolls up, his partner, to pick him up, and he's like, oh, how are the lines? Did you get your extra dose? And Preston's like, oh, yeah, it's fine, even though he didn't get one. He lies. Wouldn't Taye Diggs know, being a cleric, that there was a threat and assault on the building? And like, wouldn't he be in the know? And know that he couldn't go in and get his dose?
That makes it more fun if you think about the fact that he was in on it the whole time, and he was just letting him hang himself with the rope he came in with.
Shit, you're right. I forgot. I had that mind-blowing moment a while ago, and I completely forgot already. You're right. He's in on it at this point. You're right.
And he fucks with him later on, but I'll get to that point later. Because he very much does something that says, not only did we record everything in the cars, but we're just going to go ahead and say the exact line back to you so that you know that we know.
That you know that we know. I know.
You know?
So Preston and Taye... See, I keep seeing Taye Diggs because we don't know his name yet. Preston and Taye Diggs bust into an apartment, and a very emotional Emily Watson attacks Preston and is yelling. They break her mirror, because that's illegal to have that mirror frame.
Mirror frame's illegal. The mirror is fine, but not the frame.
Right? Then they bust through a wall that looks like it's concrete. They bust through it like it's paper mache. And they find a whole studio apartment worth of stuff. Contraband.
Oh, I love the way that they have them set up. I love the vibes because it very much gives like your great aunt's living like attic space, you know? Like it's very eclectic mix. You've got Beethoven and like random little pieces of art that nobody would actually want to have in their house, but that's all they have, so they have to deal. But it not give like cottagecore vibes a little bit?
It
The old
is.
lady assembled this set for sure.
It's like Grammy Martin's little collectible lamps and her little figurines and rugs, and yeah,
Right,
it's just
there's even
old.
little tins of stuff, and I
So
swear to
old.
God, there's a knitted Afghan in there somewhere.
So she's freaking out, grabs a gun, and Preston stops Tay Diggs from shooting her. He's going to take her out. Then we cut to Preston and this woman in an interrogation room. She unloads about, like you said, what's the point of living? Why exist? Just to exist? What's the point?
I will say the dialogue is very sharp here because this could have been delivered in a way that's very like, oh, we're gonna hit you over the head with it, but this feels very much like a real conversation that you would have in a situation like this.
Oh,
It
totally.
almost feels like a philosophical debate too, of like, well, yeah, you live in this world, this great society, but at what cost?
Well, yeah, if you have to give up human connection, honestly, yeah, I'm on her side. What the fuck is the point? Seriously. If I can't have a podcast and connect with people and talk about movies, I don't want to live. That's just it.
She brings up some very good points, and you can tell they do a really interesting thing with this movie if you pay close attention, where the saturation levels of the movie slowly go up over time. The very
Mhm.
beginning of the movie is extremely gray and drab, and there's no color at all. But as soon as he stops taking his dose, the very first dream he has, his wife's face is very colorful and vibrant, and the camera starts getting more intimate with the shots, like you can see the person's face more closely, as if he's seeing a face for the first time and as an actual living human being with emotions and things.
Yeah.
And although he's very clunky at times, and he makes some really stupid decisions because of this, I do appreciate that they didn't make his character like, no, I must be stoic at all times. No, you're experiencing music for the first time. You're gonna have an emotional reaction.
Yeah, agreed. This movie was smarter than it had any right to be. I was not expecting it to be this smart and clever.
No, the script is very smart, except for a couple little things that I think
Yeah.
a lot of people generally don't like. Like, for example, the gun swap is a big one, but we'll get
Yeah.
there.
So Preston leaves Mary, telling her she'll be sent to the Hall of Justice for processing, which bummed me out. I'd rather go to the Hall of Justice and meet Superman, but that's just me.
Oh, I actually wrote Palace of Justice,
Ooh, same
which
thing.
sounds more elegant.
Same thing. Still want to meet
It's
Superman.
very much gives the 1984 spin of like, oh no, this isn't the execution chamber, it's the Palace of Justice.
Right. Make it sound
And I
like you're
think there's
gonna.
like a it's like a friendship center and a
So next we join a gun kata class in progress led by DuPont, who blathers on for our benefit solely about how it works and why the clerics use it. My question was still, what is this? I mean, it's fighting by, was I understanding that it's fighting by knowing how guns work? Like you can avoid the direct gunfire, or is it with using the guns was the trick? I'm still not clear after seeing this movie a dozen times how this works.
I think the idea, and it's a little bit odd given the fact that computers are so seldomly used in this world, but I think the idea is that they have perfected kind of a general kill zone where people will be no matter what you do, because it's statistically likely that there'll be someone at this particular angle in this particular situation.
Okay.
Therefore, if you shoot there and then shoot there and then shoot there in that specific order, you've got the best statistical chances of actually hitting the target. I think they did the right thing with being deliberately vague about it, but they do demonstrate in the video within the movie, the diegetic video. They kind of show the guy calculating angles, so
Okay.
maybe it's a little bit of like a pool kind of thing. Like if you shoot this way and then this way and then this way, that's your your best chance of getting the most amount of hits without getting hit yourself based on this many gunfights that we've analyzed with our not computers.
Well, watching it enough times, I embrace what they're showing us and him utilizing it, but I still wanted kind of more of a fundamental understanding. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I do wish we had seen literally anyone else that knew gun kata because it feels like Christian Bale's the only person who knows how to do it.
Literally anyone else.
Because Sean Bean never does it. Tay Diggs does the sword stuff, but he never does anything with guns.
Good point. And it feels like the regular grunt cops, the grammaton people, that they don't use it either. They just suit up like a fucking SWAT team in stormtrooper helmets where they can't see, and they're just firing these giant machine gun. Like there's no skill in what they're doing.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not only do they not have gun kata training, but they're in the most restrictive suits, which are going to completely. I mean, it's a motorcycle helmet. They're not going to be able to see shit.
So
not only is it a motorcycle helmet, but they're also wearing a balaclava underneath it.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? That's not comfortable. And you didn't seem like you could move very fast or well in it. After this, Preston goes home, checks in on the sleeping kids. Then he has a nightmare. He wakes up and it's raining outside. So he peels the film off his windows so he can see outside because he has skipped his last dose again. So he's starting to feel.
This moment to me is iconic.
Why?
It's one of the most iconic scenes in the movie for me because he's literally peeling away this facade of this ordered world and he's seeing the world for the first time, not through a frosted glass, like literally seeing it clearly for the first time. And the matte painting they do for that shot is actually very beautiful. And I'm glad they did a matte painting and not CGI because it really, really gives it that extra little vibrancy that it needs. And also the emotionality on his face. And just the shot in general, because you can see him tearing, as he's tearing away this, I'm not sure what you would call it.
The film on the glass.
Film, yeah. The light is coming down and you can see his, like, he's almost desperate to reveal this new world that he's in. Also, this is the first time that he's deliberately skipping a dose. So this is his real choice. It's almost the point of no return because he has one more time where he considers dosing himself. But this is the first time he is at least consciously choosing not to dose himself.
Yes, the next time is when he is going to give himself a dose so he can stop feeling and he chooses not to. And then the next shot is him in a crowd holding this handful of doses that he's now going to not take. And he drops them on the ground so people can step on them and they just go gone. they're done.
Honestly, that shot too is brilliant. I love that shot because him dropping the vials and then you can see him stepping on them, close-up shot. And then this just massive, the same colored people walking in the same direction in the same uniform going down this very brutalist style stairway.
Let me interrupt you. I'm sorry. By same colored people, what you're referring to is their outfits. Everybody is fucking dressed in gray, shades of gray in this movie. And the clerics are in black. Everything is so dark. Why would it need to be colorful, though, if you're not feeling it?
You don't want to be the guy in the tie-dye anyway, that's for sure. But I will say there's a series of shots, really, that cement this movie above what I would just say is like a cheesy action movie. And a lot of them happen right now. Like the scene with him tearing down the film, the scene with him choosing to drop the vials and step on them in the crowd, following the crowd. And that's immediately followed by him taking his glove off and sliding his hand up the handrail because there's literally only one other person, which I suspect is also off their dose, out of this crowd of thousands of people that's choosing to use the handrail. And it's just a very subtle moment of humanity of like, yeah, imagine if you had never really thought to feel these, even the sensation of this cold handrail, which post-COVID is a little bit more gross than it was back then, but...
Or if you're me, always gross my whole life.
Fair enough. But I just think those shots sequentially are just very iconic.
Yes, and when they go inside at his work here, which is where they are, I laugh because it screams Demolition Man to me. The inside of this building. I was like, where are the 3 seashells? Like, what's going on here?
Oh, you talk about his office
His
space with
office
his
space.
where everybody's organized. You can't. I guess maximum efficiency for your desk involves everything being exactly in the same place on every single desk. And of course,
Yeah.
to really hammer that home, we've got the voiceover of the guy going, "We will have order. We will have compliance," and that's
Mm-hmm.
going in the background. And you just see row and row and row of everyone's desk exactly the same. And genius Christian Bale is immediately like, "I'm gonna do something different."
And then here comes Tay Diggs to point it out, like, what you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
Uh,
busted.
rearranging it for efficiency. Uh-huh.
Mhm. Sure you are.
It's just kind of funny. Like, it's like, what are they doing at their desk? It seems like all they do is murder people. Do they have to do reports afterwards?
I would assume, yeah, what a boring job, right? Murder report all day.
I mean, that's being the guy who has to read all of that.
So Preston and Tay and a team arrive armed to the gills to bust in on more people that they say are the terrorists who attacked that Equilibrium Center earlier. Preston is starting to feel when a man is shot and falls into his arms. We can see it. He's like, oh, I don't like this.
I think this is the first time we see blood, if I recall correctly.
I believe you are correct.
Which is very much, I believe, they did that on purpose because the movie definitely, and I've read this, someone describing that the movie starts out PG and it works its way up to R.
I would agree with that assessment. Yeah.
Because the first gunfight, there's no blood, I mean, it's violent, but it's kind of like a James Bond level of violence. But now we're getting into like blood and people dying breaths and executions. And also, I have to add the fact that Tay Diggs, and I'm just going to call him Tay Diggs because that's his name in the movie, but Tay Diggs hits him with the quip of, "Nice catch, cleric." Like he did that on purpose. Yeah, totally.
Totally. So Preston takes his glove off and runs his fingers along the holes in the wall. And then he comes across light peering through one of the holes. They bust down the wall and they find a secret room full of contraband. Wildly unsafe, though. I mean, lots of candles, lit candles all around this room. I'm assuming candle budget on this was probably a couple thousand at least. So Beethoven is playing on the record player. He puts it on and he finds a Paris snow globe with the Eiffel Tower, which looks like a penis to me. And the music touches him. He drops the snow globe and he gets a little teary about it. Like it's a very emotional moment for him. And I like that in this film, that he has this moment.
I love the moment, and I love the shot where they zoom into his eye and they zoom out and it's the gramophone.
Yeah.
That shot is so good. And then him dropping the snow globe, and it must shatter onto plexiglass or something because you can see the water just spilling out over the camera, and it works so much. For some reason, it works so much better than it has any right to, because usually when you drop a snow globe in a movie, it kind of just it's not that dramatic.
Right.
Maybe except for Citizen Kane, but beyond that.
I like how we just compared Equilibrium to Citizen Kane. What are we doing?
You know that.
I love
They're
it.
equal in my eyes. No,
I love it. But you know what, though? What does that say about Kurt Wimmer's eye? Like, this movie is full of shots where I'm like, damn. So good on him, really.
That's the thing that I really feel like, because without those shots, I do think there'd be about 3 people that would remember this movie if it didn't have such great cinematography and such sharp dialogue, and there's hardly any fat on the script. It just keeps on moving.
Agreed.
Every single thing is completely designed to keep escalating the tension, and I don't think there's a single part of the movie that I can think of where it meanders at all.
No, we get right back to a throwback here, because outside, as this is all burning down, Tay Diggs sees a book in Preston's pocket and he says the same thing that Preston said to Bean earlier in the film. He's like, "What you got there?" "Oh, I'm taking it in for processing myself." It's like, oh shit.
Oh, this is the moment I was talking about. So he uses the same excuse that Sean Bean used, but in the car, which to me feels that they bugged the shit out of that car, because in response to him saying that, Tay Diggs' character says the line that Sean Bean's character says next, which is, "If we keep burning the city down, will we eventually run out of things to burn down?"
Mm.
He repeats the line back to him verbatim, which to me is a very subtle way of being like, "Hey, I'm on to you, buddy.
Yes, that's right.
Your excuse isn't going to work here because I heard the other guy say it, and look what happened to him."
Okay, so next we get to the worst part in the entire film.
Uh-oh.
And again, people that know me, they know that I am a dog lover, animal lover, but a dog lover specifically. So this is the worst part of the film for me. However, because we don't see it happen, I can deal with it. They go out back and they find a large kennel full of dogs. The guys that are there with the guns point out to Taye Diggs and Preston, hey, don't worry, it's just the dogs now. We already took care of all the women and children that were guarding them. I'm like, oh my God. They
Could you be any more evil?
Fuck, right? But it's easier to slaughter when you don't feel remorse, right? Like
very true.
So
I guess the idea of companionship animals is just completely lost to them because this joke aged poorly. But him asking, "Do they eat them?"
Well, it depends on what country you're in, I suppose.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
They start shooting and you can hear dogs yelling and crying and it's horrible, but luckily it's quick because a puppy runs up to Preston and he picks it up and it starts licking his face. But then I like that
the cutest freaking puppy ever.
They really do. But then we get this shot of Taye Diggs looking at him like, like he's on to Preston liking this. So he stops the men.
Preston's not doing himself any favors. Like ever since he got off the dose, his poker face is real terrible at times.
It's one poor choice after another based on because you're feeling now, I guess. So what's the commentary in that? I don't know, but he had one bad choice. But he stops them from killing this last puppy because he says, "Oh, we need to take it in for testing," and he walks away with the puppy. And it's like, bro, we're so on to you.
We need to test them for disease as he picks it up with his hand and then puts it right next to him.
So flimsy. So DuPont calls Preston in and says that father has declared that all sense offenders will be terminated going forward. There will be no more processing. So basically, we're executing everybody, no questions asked, which sucks. Preston tries to debate it, but is put in his place quickly and leaves.
So here's a question. Here's a brain scratcher that I don't know the answer to. Is this a post 9/11 film, or did this movie just happen to come out at the perfect time? In other words, was it written in a post 9/11 point of view, or is it just the timing was really, really perfect for this kind of dystopian setting where there's you're not allowed, we're overdrugged and we've got this person that's in charge. And
I think it was just the timing. I don't think it was thought out that way because if this came out in 2002, it would have been filming in 2001. It would have been written before that. So I think that that's just kind of coinky-dink.
Yeah, I think the timing is just just lined up very well because they don't overtly make allusions to like the current state of things like a lot of the post 9/11 films did for basically 10 straight years after that, but it still has that vibe. It very much feels like one of the first we're in a different world now, so movies are going to be different now too.
No, agreed. So we cut to Preston watching Mary in her cell on a monitor. He goes to her evidence locker and pulls out a piece of fabric and sniffs it and puts it in his pocket. He then drives off.
he straight up almost got caught by the dude that was running the library too.
Bad choices he's making. So he drives off site. He goes off site late that night, claiming it's work related. Taye is watching him, and so they follow Preston. He goes to a secret location and he tries to set that confiscated puppy free, but it won't go. My immediate thought was, leave. You've shut the door, start your car, leave. He can't because he hears the damn puppy. So he throws it in the trunk. He gets rushed by Taye Diggs and the forces. He identifies himself, and like you said, the one guy goes, "Oh, I didn't recognize you. Sorry. Like you're the most important cleric there is. Of course, I recognize you now."
Well, he name drops himself. It's like, "Don't you know who I am? You don't need to look in my trunk, which is currently barking."
Which is currently barking. Yes.
I love that happens, and he gives him a look like animals And the guy's like, dude, come on. Um,
So to me, I love the switch when that, even though he's feeling, that switch flips in his head and you can see it on his face. Preston goes into like a trance-like state and he unleashes his gun kata skills on these poor bastards. He takes them all out in about 30 seconds flat in a scene that John Wick would envy. Like, you're so right.
Oh yeah, especially this one because this one is a mix between the close quarters and the gunplay is just very tight and very you can tell he practiced the ever living hell out of that sequence. He ends it with like he holds his gun out in like a pose or something with it. I can't remember exactly,
Yes,
but he does
every
like
time.
a yeah, he does like a stance with it. It's very interesting. Oh, those of you that are paying attention to Gun Swap Gate, which I'm gonna call it that, I guess. There's a couple of places where it could have happened. He could have potentially already swapped guns with Tay Diggs at this point.
Well, they give us a flashback, which we'll get to, in where
Mhm.
Preston admits he swapped the gun. So I don't know why there's a controversy about this, if I'm being frank with you.
It's because of they don't make it clear when the swap initially happens. They just show him swapping it back. But the first time, I believe the first time he gives him his gun is actually right prior to this moment because there's a moment where he has an opportunity to hand him back his gun and they do it in a more yeah, in a subtle way versus the next time where they make it very deliberate that they make it so deliberate that he changes hands as to which gun he's handing him.
You, now that again, oh my God, you're blowing my mind again. I can't believe this is happening live, real time. You're right, because when he confesses later to swapping the gun and he tells the whole story, he's talking about when he swaps it back. Because how would they have known that Tay Diggs's gun was used in the slaughter if he hadn't swapped them already?
Right.
That's the evidence they have later in the movie.
So he had to have done it before that,
He had
which
to have.
means
Holy shit.
which
I
wait,
love
does that
this.
mean he was playing 5D chess or did he just not trust the guy and like switched guns with him?
Oh my
Like
God. Oh, I love this. I love this so much. Now it makes me want to go watch it again to see if I can see when it happens. Oh.
it's a little bit subtle, but there's definitely a time where he hands him a gun and he's like, "Here's your gun."
Okay. Well, we'll finish this discussion, put a pin in it when we get to that other scene.
Hmm.
So next we see Preston at home with the puppy, and my question in my notes here was, will Hitler Jr. not turn him in? Like, why do you bring
Uh,
the puppy home? Oh my God.
oh, does he have the puppy? Did he bring
Yeah,
the puppy in?
he brings the puppy home. Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't that be immediately? Yeah, that okay. That's kind of a huge problem then, because I did notice they show the puppy in the last shot of the movie, and I was like, how the hell did the puppy end up back
No, the
there?
puppy goes home with him. Yeah.
Okay.
He
Huh.
pulls the medicine cabinet off the wall and he hides his doses that he's not been taking now, the newer batch behind the wall. Next, we are treated to Bale and Diggs in an empty hall somewhere, sparring and talking. And what I loved about this was when I read that they did their own stunts and they trained and trained and trained. All the close-up shots and in the finale too, the close-up camera work. These are the actors doing the thing. I
Mhm.
love that. I hate seeing the back of a stuntman's head in fight scenes.
Especially when it's not very obviously not the person at all.
Yes. This scene is so fun. And Tay's basically, while they're sparring, telling Preston he's onto him for the murders and this whole thing. And it's so well shot. It's such a fun scene.
Apparently, they were really whacking at each other with those swords too, because they
I
were
believe
just
it.
they were just actual kendo swords. They're just like, yep, might get a few bruises, it'll be fine.
So another raid happens, and it looks like they're cooking up blue meth in this place. I don't know what kind of place this is, the barrels and stuff. But Preston watches as the place gets destroyed. He tries to lead a few men out of harm's way because he's feeling, and
Oh man,
the cops bust him.
I get
So
so mad at the terrorists for not trusting him, but it
I
really does
know
make sense that they wouldn't.
why. Yeah, why would you?
But I get so mad at them, like just go. He's giving you a
He's
chance at
trying to
least.
help you. Yes. So we see that Preston's gun has these little nail peg things that pop out the butt handle of the
Oh,
gun.
the
Like,
hammer.
what
Yes.
hammer? What is this? I'm not a gun
It's
person. I don't know. What
the
is this? Is this real?
I would hope not. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure all they really wanted in this scene was him to just be able to break some helmets,
Okay.
break some face visors, because he definitely does. And it's funny, a couple of the shots where you see him actually breaking the visor, you can
Hmm.
see the safety glass behind the glass that breaks for like half a second in one of the shots. So
Oh,
it's like,
really?
because obviously you don't want the guy to get
To get
hit with
hurt, right?
glass. Yeah, but I do again once have to wonder why these police are wearing bicycle helmets and
Yeah.
such awkward equipment.
I
It
would
just
think it
seems
would hinder your like range of like your peripheral vision would not be
your
good,
ability to
and
hear all kinds of stuff.
yeah.
Oh, and this is also another cameo by our friend, the airport fire truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the raid has it. The actually uses its hose in this scene. I'm guessing they were either trying to make it look like a riot hose, or maybe just because it's in a burning factory, maybe they did want to. They're like, oh, we got this thing that sprays water. We might as well get the shot of it actually doing what it's designed to do.
Oh, I love that. So
And
in
then,
this scene though, when he has this fight with them, I wrote in my notes, this is the most ludicrous fight scene ever, but the enjoyment factor is so high.
the bone,
It's so
the
fun. It's so
visceral,
fast.
the visceral like bone breaking, and he's
Yeah.
smashing their helmets in, doing all kinds of crazy. And the way it's filmed, it almost feels like the whole thing would be over in like 2 seconds if you were watching it from the outside.
Right? But I have to wonder, I mean, you train and train and train, and then you shoot this shit, and then you get to see it completed. If you're Christian Bale, how do you not feel like the biggest badass on the planet going, yeah, I did that? I would love that.
I mean, he probably did. He went on to be Batman not too long after
Right?
that.
So the men that Preston tried to help escape get wrangled by Taye Diggs and his men. They're ready to execute him. He and Preston have a little conversation about who's going to execute him, and there's a gun swap here.
Hmm.
And I think you're right. This is where Preston is giving him back his gun that he used the night before.
At least from what I was able to glean from it, he grabs the gun with his right hand, and then there's the whole tension and the back and forth, and then the terrorist guy literally looks him in the eye and shakes his head, no. Like, don't do it, man. Then he hands the gun back with his left hand, or what looks to be his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that must have been. I guess in the tension of the scene, he didn't notice that he was handing him the gun in a different hand.
Oh,
But-
no, because he's so honed in watching Preston because he's got him
oh, that's
figured,
fair.
like, how's he going to react to everything? Because Preston's like, I'm not going to execute him, you do it. And he walks away. And what I like about this part is Tay steps around the wall to watch Preston's expression as they
Oh,
open
yeah.
fire on these dudes. The coolest thing about this shot, I wish it went on longer, the glass exploding out the back as the men get fired on.
Right? I was like,
really
that's
cool.
dangerous. How did he not accidentally get shot doing that sequence?
I know, but it's really cool
But
looking.
him stepping out from behind the glass wall and deliberately just staring down Christian Bale as Christian Bale is trying so hard. I should call him Preston. Preston trying so hard to not only process what just happened, but repress any reaction. And then he looks
Yes.
over like, shit, I'm being watched. Shit, don't react too hard to that. All right, I'm just gonna walk away.
Yes, there's a lot going on with this performance. It expects a lot of him to be emotional and then repress and have no emotion and etc. All the subtleties, the layers. I don't think he got enough credit. I mean, this movie just panned unfairly. Nobody's paying attention that is saying this isn't a good movie. Like you got to watch this movie and watch his performance.
That's the thing, is a lot of people, because it's making its way through TikTok and YouTube Shorts now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple scenes where if you play it without any context, people are just like, "Oh, this is silly. This is stupid." Like you really gotta watch it all the way through, because even I had someone watch it for the first time last month and they were like, "Wow, this was actually really good. How have I never heard about this?"
Yeah. Same thing happened to me. I was watching it and my husband was like, "Oh, what are you going to watch?" And I said, "Oh, Equilibrium." He's like, "Cool. I've never seen it. Enjoyed it thoroughly." And I was like, "See?" So, okay, let's cut to this next part because Preston is determined to get on DuPont's good side and like not have
Oh
anybody
yeah.
catch on to him that he's feeling. And he's like, "Tell you what, I'm going to get you the underground. We're going to get it once and for all. I'll show you how faithful I am. Period. The end. Get off my back."
Mhm.
So he goes and sits in a room with half-naked deceased Sean Bean. I don't know if this was out of order or what in the film, but it seems like weirdly placed because he's
Very
sitting
weirdly
there.
placed. It's been at least several days at this point.
Yeah. Why is his body still there? He apologizes to him, and then the items are presented to him that were still on Sean Bean's body at time of death. Yeah, several days later.
Right, they did not have any next of kin or no one else that would care to claim any of this stuff. The other thing too is like, well, maybe the reason why they hadn't gotten to him is because they're so busy committing heinous war crimes that they've got a backlog in their incinerator room.
So many bodies, so little time.
I cannot run it any harder, Captain.
The unofficial tagline for this film.
Yes.
So what I thought was really amusing in the scene, however, was the fact that he's going through the personal effects of Sean Bean, and he finds an old Polaroid taken that looks like it was from the 70s. The 1970s with the couch and the velour, and I was like, what?
A lot of this stuff feels like it's from the 70s. But it's funny because apparently, according to the canon of this movie, it's the year 2073. So it's 100 years old.
Okay, so that's not so far-fetched to have that, a couple generations back of photos, but 2073, that's 50, that's right around the corner. We better watch out. It's coming. This needs to be a cautionary tale.
It's like the movie Idiocracy. We didn't know it was going to come true so fast.
Right? Oh, shit. All right, so he sees another photo on the back. It says freedom. We don't get to see what the photo is, however. And then we cut to Preston interviewing Mary, asking her about Sean Bean. And of course, she denies knowing him. He shows her the photo, and it's the two of them together. I like that he's asking about him. What's your connection to him? And she's like, why don't you ask him? Oh, wait, you can't. He's dead.
Yeah, how's that working for you?
Sassy. I like it. I couldn't live
the
without
detectives
feeling.
in this universe must have the easiest job in the world because they don't have to detect shit. They just kill everyone anyway.
Oh, talk about easy for your paycheck, right? So she grabs a pen, tries to attack him. He pins her down, and he feels for a minute while he's face to face with her.
We definitely feel something.
That's what I wrote in my notes. Oh, all the feels were happening here. He hops up and turns away, and he says, "You were lovers." And then he leaves the room, and I'm like, what? I don't know.
I mean, they never really do explain too much how Sean Bean's character, like why he does switch sides, but it does make sense that because I always forget about this plot point every time I rewatch it, that they're connected.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I see her so much as a proxy for his wife that I can't really see her as anything else.
You're right. What did you think of her in this, by the way? I thought, I've seen a lot of her movies, and I thought she was delightful in this. I think she nails the performance. I think she looks fantastic. Like, she's doing a great job here.
Oh yeah, she does a perfect job of being like indignant, but not overly emotional, which is ironic. Of like she wants to get her point across, and she knows that she has to do it in a logical way, but there's still a lot of anger there for obvious reasons. Because but I can't sit here and drink wine with my painting. Fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's all she wants to do. So he leaves and goes to a classroom and manhandles the teacher after kicking everyone out they were busy reading the manifesto of the new world.
How boring must their literature be in that universe? They can't read books. All they can read is the same crap over and over again.
Same manifesto, yeah. Yeah, I don't like this world at all. No, thank you.
It's a New York Times bestseller for 300 months.
Because it's the only book on the list.
The second most popular book is the manual to a 1987 Betamax.
So this teacher says that Errol, who we find out that's Sean Bean's name, we just got a name, how many minutes into the film, would come there.
Errol Partridge, a very British name.
Yes, had a big family tree. Bum. So he would come there with a fellow named Jurgen. I don't know. And Preston,
Yes. Let's just say yes to both.
is it? Yeah, well, Jurgen, I don't know.
I do think they say Jurgen more than Jurgen, but
We can go with Jurgen because I know like the actor Jurgen Prochnow pronounces it that way. So we'll go with Jurgen. So Preston throws this man through a hollow wall and goes into a room with pretty much nothing in there and is startled by a man in the corner who says they've been watching him.
fast catch on this. So the wall that he throws him through is block 42,
Uh-huh.
and all of the books say, "Do not touch cleric business, top secret cleric documentation," something to that effect. The wall that he throws him through. So it's a nice little touch that they threw. I really like the Douglas Adams block 42 reference as well.
Okay. Yeah, those went right over my head. So good catch. So the man says, "Surprise, I'm Jurgen. We've been watching you." And this is William Fichtner. I recognized him immediately from Armageddon, Dark Knight. Oh, Batman connection. Independence Day. He's a great character actor. He tells Preston he knows he's having feelings and he takes him to a secret underground room and says, "Surprise, this is the underground." Who knew that the underground would actually be underground?
Oh, that's time for my snarky. Wait, let's see. That is my snarky question that I had referred to earlier. Something about.
I love it.
Who would have guessed that how did they not think to look for the underground in the underground?
Literally under the ground, because you can see people walking right above their heads. It's so dumb.
Which, in a world where only logic prevails, you would think that'd be one of the first places they would look.
Right? How many years has they eluded the authorities by being underground?
Well, not since the city is very heavily fortified, they could show that it's walled all around and it's got these automatic gates and everything. So they obviously have to be going through it somehow through.
Well, Jurgen says, "Okay, well, we need to see about you." So they hook him up to this like machine that detects emotions, basically a lie detector test. They say Mary and the machine flickers a little. So he's like, "Okay, I know you're feeling. And I know you have that red ribbon of hers in your pocket." Preston seems visibly upset when he tells Jurgen Mary's going to be executed tomorrow. So suddenly now we just have an abrupt cut and we're in Jurgen's office. It's like just abrupt scene change. And he tells Preston emotion comes with a price. They chat and it ends with Preston asking, "What can I do?" And Jurgen says, "Simple, kill father."
You can kill father.
That's all you got to do. Kill father. You
Those
can
of
do
you
it.
watching on Pluto TV, that's going to be your commercial break.
So then we have a weird cut to Preston running through a crowd, and then he gets cornered by the cops who take him back to DuPont's office.
This shot upsets me because he runs like an absolute dipshit. He runs over a guy. He plows over a guy, and then immediately stops and catches his breath for like 5 minutes. Like he could have just walked at a normal pace and not been such a giant. Obviously, which another thing this movie has taught me is that only emotional people run. Because every time he tries to run it's so obvious that he's the only one.
Yeah, your only takeaway from this, if there's only one takeaway, it's that emotional people run. Period.
That should be the tagline for the episode. Equilibrium. Emotional people run.
Yep. So DuPont says that he thinks there's a cleric traitor who has stopped taking his Prosium. And for a minute, you think he's going to peg Preston, but he doesn't. So Preston says, "Well, I'll find this traitor and flush him out. And I'll do you one better. I'll find you the resistance."
Also, this is when you see Preston very clearly have an emotional outburst.
Yep.
Which, rules for me, not for thee, I guess. Or the other way around, rules for thee, not for me.
So Preston goes home, grabs a vial of his drugs, and we see that the large stash he's been stockpiling. Because he puts it in there. He goes to his son's bedside and gets caught checking his son's little drug gun. Like, I don't understand what the point of this was, because his son is wide awake and sees him. Is like, "What are you doing, Dad?" What was he doing? Do you know?
What was
Preston?
he doing? Every time I watch this, I'm just thinking like, because his excuse doesn't make sense. Because he doesn't suspect his kid to be that, like, not on it.
Right.
At all, because it's a surprise to him later. And he's not checking it. He's not checking his own gun. Like, what is he
Mm-mm.
doing there? I feel like they just threw that in there to reinforce that the kid's not on his side, maybe. But
Okay. I
that
figured
is
there's
a
a reason.
feel like that's one of the rare few scenes that I don't really think they probably could have cut that whole one out and it would have been
Yeah.
a little bit more cohesive.
So we cut to Mary and Preston and Mary's cell, and there's a weird reflection on the wall that looks like moving water. What did you make of that?
A
The whole
weird
room
reflection.
is like flickering, like it's a reflection of water. Did you notice that at all? Because it was
Uh,
very obvious to me.
like it was a screen, like it was projecting the
The
image, or it was
walls
just
just had like the light was moving on the walls like in a ripply fashion where it looks like like light would reflect off of water. And I'm like, where is there water in this room? Look for it on your next rewatch because you know damn well you're going to rewatch this.
oh yeah, that's the thing. This movie is infinitely rewatchable. Like I rented this movie so many times it made no sense for me to not just buy it by the time I
Same. I've got
was like,
multiple
wait, I
copies.
actually like this movie. I should just buy it.
So
So
Mary calls Preston on not taking his dose. She's like, I'm on to you, you're feeling. They touch hands, but there's a camera in the room watching them. So another poor choice, Preston.
not only a camera, but a very, very or late 90s webcam looking camera.
Yes.
And it's literally right in front of their hands as they how to say this eloquently, touch tips.
They touch tips. Equilibrium, we touch tips.
Oh boy.
So
We're not
later,
we're not gay though, it's fine.
later, Preston meets with Jurgen and they talk the odds of him assassinating father. Then he points out that there are bombs planted all over the city. So once Preston succeeds, there will be an uprising and we're going to come out of the underground and take over. Preston
I guess
says,
blowing up father is not an option.
right. Preston says, okay, I'll give it a try. He leaves and Jurgen tells him, do not go see Mary again. It's just going to make it harder on you.
Almost a comedic cut to him doing the exact thing.
He's watching Mary get taken away on video monitors. And then Preston's at his desk. He decides to bring up his wife's sentencing footage, and he sees that he was there and watching her get taken off with zero emotion on his face as she's carted off to be burned. So he takes off running, I guess, to save Mary, to try.
Yeah, this is the second time that we learned that emotional people run.
Emotional people run. I swear to God. That's the log line for this episode. So we see Mary at the fire, ready to step in, and they put this like red hooded cloak on them and walk them up to the fire, all dramatic, because they did it with his wife too.
And then they take the hood cloak off, right?
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
What was the point of that?
You don't want to get a burn on your way to the death chamber.
Yeah, got to get her there safely. So then
I was thinking maybe they reused the hood, like it was fireproof and which is gross, but
they must reuse it. I can't imagine because it's red. I can't imagine they own too many pieces of clothing that are colorful in this society. So we got to reuse the one we have. Preston tries to stop her death, but is given some bullshit reason why the door can't be opened to take her out.
The auto locks are engaged.
I was like, what? But Preston and Mary get to stare at each other through this little see-through crack in the chamber door, and we get a full 10-second countdown to her incineration. It's so dramatic.
Not only that, it goes 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds.
I wanted Mississippi's.
I was like, just these seconds are lasting 3 seconds apiece.
But the whole point is Preston looks very devastated that he's watching this happen.
Oh, she does a great job of looking terrified, too.
Oh, yes. And that subtle, like, trembling of her hand, we get a close-up. Like, this movie is shot so impeccably, like, to hit all the beats it needs to hit. But Preston goes outside. He stumbles, people notice, he falls, and he starts crying. And then he stops when Taye Diggs arrests him by punching him in the face.
Well, he's got to get his one injury for the movie.
Brutal, just pow.
His little bloody lip that he has for the last 5 minutes of the movie.
So he hauls him inside, Taye does, and starts ranting angrily and passionately at Preston. Again, Feelings?
Very.
Don't you need
Very.
feelings to do that? So Preston tells DuPont here he promised to bring in the traitor, and he has. Ta-da! Here's
Ta-da.
Tay Diggs on a platter, and he winks at him.
Yeah, he does. I got that time. I was like, what? Bro, come on.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. He winks.
That was an American Psycho wink, too.
Yes.
I love that.
We see that Tay's gun was found as to be the gun that killed everybody at the raid earlier, so gun swap. We see in a flashback now, Preston swapped the gun back with him at that execution scene.
Mhm.
And then Tay pulls his gun out and it says Preston on the bottom. Ta-da! So Tay is hauled off to be executed for feeling. And he's screaming as they pull him out of the room. I love it. It's like
he loses his he immediately, if he isn't feeling, he immediately makes himself a suspect by going, I'm not feeling anything.
I know. That was really good.
But the other thing
way.
is Preston's name is on the bottom of the fucking gun, so it's clearly not his gun.
Yeah, it was hysterical to me. I was like, bro, if you're not feeling, you need to take it down a notch.
It's just the illogical aspect of like, this is where the writing kind of not falls apart, but it falters a little bit for me. It's like,
yeah,
this twist is cool the first time, but then in subsequent times, I'm just like, huh?
Yeah,
what?
Agreed.
Because they never show him like trying to, like he's being so bad at not at hiding his emotions that like you never think that it's like a cat and mouse game, like the way that they portray it to be more of. Oh, I had written down too much emotions! ! And the gun has his name on it.
Yes.
But yeah, I also said that little wink.
It's so perfect.
Such a little like haha.
And it comes back later. So DuPont unlocks Preston's handcuffs and he says, Preston's like, well, since I brought you the traitor and I'm bringing you the underground, can't I get an audience with the father? Wouldn't he want to meet his top cleric? And I was like, oh, that's clever. Okay.
I think he just made a clerical error.
It's a critical one for sure. DuPont says to Preston, well, you understand because charges were, leveled against you. We do have to still search your apartment. And Preston's like, no problem. And he's
no problem. Like, I'm just going to go for my normal sprint down the hall.
Normal run.
Excuse me while I run immediately to my bathroom and make a very loud scraping noise.
Yep. He sees in his bathroom, yes, when he gets there that they're searching his house, but his stash is gone. And then plot twist that we all saw coming. The small child comes in and says, hey, Dad, you probably want to be more careful where you hide your stash. Like, hello, right? I found it. And little Damien, he just walks in. He's like looking for something. And I'm like, oh, shit. But it turns out in this little tete-a-tete they have that we find out that after the mom was taken away, like you said earlier, the boy, and he stopped his doses and his sisters as well after mom got taken away. So they've been off this whole time. This kid pretends like a motherfucker. I thought for sure he was no feelings at all this whole time.
I mean, he was playing the role very well, and he also repeats the line of like, hey, I learned it by watching you because you're so good at your job.
I learned it by watching you.
I'm watching you, Dad.
So we cut to...
Why are you so afraid of your feelings, man?
We cut to Preston calling on a rotary phone to the vice council that he has successfully infiltrated the resistance. He knows where they are, but they're all sitting there, Jurgen and them going, yeah, good job.
So that means there's a telephone phone at the office as well?
Yes, apparently.
Phone calls in this world.
Okay, so Preston now stands by. Here's the slam bang finish. We're getting ready. They take away Jurgen and the people he's turned in. And then we cut to Preston on his way to an audience with the father. And now we've switched. Preston is no longer dressed in black. He is dressed all in white from head to toe. I love this because it's a slap in the face of like, hello, he went from bad guy to good guy. If you weren't paying attention.
See, it does a good job of reinforcing the plot without being too repetitive.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of the visual heavy lifting with that too, so that helped. In an alternative reality, this movie very much could have been just an absolute cheese fest. We're not too different, you and I.
Well, what I liked about this is he shows up to see the father and he's given instructions. I was so excited because I'm like, oh, we get to see more Sean Pertwee, like in person. No, he's given instructions. Do not address the father unless he addresses you first. Do not do eye contact. Do not break his personal boundary or security will snipe you. And I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
fuck. They mean business, right? But he goes in this room after he has to surrender his firearms to them. He gives them
Uh-huh.
a sword. He's got this big old sword and he hands that over. And then they don't check him for anything else. They don't put him through a TSA metal detector, nothing.
They don't even pat down his sleeves, which is the
No,
best
they don't
part.
pat him down. And they take him in this room and here's Pertwee on a fucking monitor. He's not even there. I was so bummed.
Well, the line about the snipers was such a lie too. There was
Right?
never any snipers.
No, there's like two dudes and the dude that's going to give him the lie detector test. So he hands over his sword. He goes in, he sits down, they hook him up to this lie detector thing. And then Taye Diggs appears, and we finally learn his name is Brant. Okay, Cleric Brant here now. And he basically lets Preston know he got him, and he smirks and winks at him. I was like, there's the wink. It came back. Now, you've got to assume he's feeling, right? He's
He
got
has
to
be.
has to be. He's enjoying this too much. So the father's on a screen and there are guards, like I said, in there. Father says basically, haha, this was all a setup, Preston. We got you. Then
Right.
the screen gives away that father is DuPont. Father actually died and DuPont took over. Boo. I wanted Sean Pertwee. Boo.
Right. Well, this is one of the weakest twists, I think, not in cinematic history, but one of the weakest twists that I'm okay with because the movie kind of holds up without it. But this double cross of like, haha, we made you think you got Taye Diggs, but then you didn't, but we were in on it the whole time. In fact, this is
Yeah.
when they reveal that we've been grooming you this whole time to not take your doses and blah blah blah. Which it makes more sense that Taye Diggs would be in on it the whole time, but he missed his first dose completely by accident. Like it'd be
Yes.
different. It would have been different if like he ran out of doses and he went to the facility to get it refilled and they were like, "Oh, we can't refill you right now."
Or they
That I
give
can
him a
understand,
placebo to make him think
right?
he's taking it.
Or like slowly. I guess they could have slowly lowered his dosage, but they never really meant to talk about that. So that
Yeah, I'm with you. I
But yeah,
don't mind the weak plot twist because there's
the
big payoff in the finale anyway for me.
the big reveal of, oh, we knew this all along. This is how you were going to get us to the underground, people, and
Right.
we needed somebody who could feel. And it's like, so you've been trying to infiltrate the underground with people that are not off their meds? No wonder. What do you mean?
Failed spectacularly this whole time.
I am here for the opera music.
Suddenly he's the Terminator.
I too enjoy colored art on canvas.
I too like the Beethoven. Yes. So this whole big reveal happens and it's so dumb. But you know what I love is Preston, you can see on the stupid little machine, is getting so upset and so worked up. The machine is going ape shit like it's off the Richter scale. And then all of a sudden it just flatlines and his face just goes blank. And you're like, oh fuck, buckle up because here we go.
This, I think, the moment where he says "not without incident" and that flatlines on his polygraph is probably the iconic moment for me in this movie because it so gets you ready for the badassery that's about to unfold.
Yes.
And even the tech guy goes, "Oh shit!"
Yes. Guns come down out of his sleeves.
Sleeve guns.
I love it so fucking much.
I wrote they didn't check him for sleeve guns.
You would think. So
It's
he
not only
proceeds.
that, there's more to it too. Because they're not only sleeve guns, but he's got auto reloaders in his sleeves and
Yes,
the extra bandoliers of ammunition.
so good. It's
Which
so
means
good.
that as he's walking, he's definitely making metallic clinking noises.
Noises, right? He's a dead giveaway. He proceeds to quickly gun kata the hell out of everybody in this room except the test guy. He's like, lets him live. He tells DuPont, I'm coming for you, and he shoots the screen and walks out. So in the hall, I didn't know what this was at first time viewing. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? He throws these two clips, I guess, that are on the bottom of them are cylinder like balls, and they just sit and
Right.
bob in the hallway. I was like, what the fuck is this? I had no idea.
My younger self thought grenades.
Yes.
My older adult gutter-minded self was like, this looks a lot like an adult toy.
Well, no matter what it was, these dudes with guns looked down at it for a minute, perplexed.
Huh?
They're like, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this?
So then in the hall, he gun katas every single one of these motherfuckers, mows them down without so much as, I mean, he just goes through everybody nonstop. It's fucking awesome. The thing I don't like, though, honestly, is that they all have these big ass automatic weapons, and you're telling me he's not grazed not even one time.
The only injury he sustains in the movie, I'm telling you, is when he gets punched in the face by Tay Diggs. I think he gets a nick on his neck at the end of the movie that they don't explain where he got it. The other funny thing about that is he's wearing this bright white suit, and he's using a sword and guns and everything, and he is spotless right now.
In this scene, yeah. His sleeves reload the clips in his guns. He reloads with the clips on the ground as he's running. It's just fucking slam bang, like there's not a moment to breathe. He runs over when his guns are out, runs over like a machine gun laying against a body with his feet, and it flips and he catches it and keeps running. And it's so fucking bonkers. Like, it has to be seen to be believed. I love it. I've never seen that in another movie.
This has the unfortunate timing of being out after the first Matrix movie, because I feel like that movie very much, people equating it to the Matrix is kind of a part of the reason why people are like, oh, well, it's just a cheap knockoff. It's not going to be the same. It's like, It's very different.
Very different. He goes in a door now after he's slaughtered everybody, finds DuPont and Brandt alone in a room. Preston surveys the room. Brandt smiles at him. I was like,
yeah,
he's been feeling, he has to be.
He's just straight up happy to see him there.
Right? Preston drops the guns and approaches the middle of the room and is immediately surrounded by half a dozen men with swords that come out of nowhere. Why do they not have guns?
Oh, you can't have another gun scene right after the other gun.
Good point. We got to change it up. So DuPont asks Preston how that felt, and he smirks at him. And I'm like, DuPont is smirking? Uh-oh. Is he feeling also?
Well, DuPont's a giant hypocrite because his room has a huge fucking chandelier hanging from the ceiling and these giant ass paintings on the walls, like completely violating the rules.
Yeah, and a giveaway, I think, a clue to us that, oh, he's been feeling for sure, because why would you decorate otherwise? So to DuPont's surprise, Preston grabs two of the men's swords right off of their bodies, kills all of them quickly and stylishly. I very much enjoyed this.
Oh, yes.
He does get some blood splatter on his nice, pristine outfit, however.
Finally.
Right? And then Brandt grabs a blade and confronts Preston. He makes quick work of Brandt by doing a couple of side swipes and a front swipe. And then we see that the guns fall out. He had sleeve guns as well.
Yep, he cut his gun sleeves, and then we get quite possibly one of the worst face sliding off effects I've ever seen.
But luckily, we see it from the side and not from the front. When Brandt's face, the front of his face slides off his head. Yeah. I do love it, though, I will say, because he was such a prick. I wanted Brandt to die so bad.
So this is the moment I was talking about that I didn't notice, the fact that I didn't notice it this many times, and the fact that it's there killed me.
Mm.
So if you rewatch the scene, right at the very end, there's a top-down shot that shows all the people dead.
Hmm.
And in the middle of the floor is fucking Tay Diggs' face. Just look, his, his sliced off face just on the floor, looking really pissed off. And
My
it got me so
God.
off guard.
Okay, that's something for me to look for in a rewatch because I never
Right.
noticed that. Oh
No,
my
it took me
God.
like 6 rewatches to finally notice, and I'm like, wait, that's hilarious.
I
They
fucking
remembered to
love
put
that.
his face on the floor.
Hey, the continuity people were on it. They got it right.
No kidding.
So DuPont jumps up, grabs a gun on his desk, but before he can shoot Preston, Preston has managed to move faster than a fucking bullet. He has grabbed one of Brant's guns in a fancy somersault move and ends up right in DuPont's face. They're like right face to face. Then we get the scene that I was talking about earlier, this really cool tussling for a minute and a half of them
Oh,
gunfighting
yeah.
up close, right in each other's faces. And the camera is right there the whole time as they're spinning around and fighting.
Hmm.
I love it personally.
Oh, I would put this up against any action sequence from that era, and it's right up there. Because the fact that when you really consider what they're doing, they're trying to get each other to discharge their firearms in a way that won't strike them while they're trying to strike them with their firearms. And you can
Right.
see the whole like wrestling of it, and it's so elegantly done. Like
It only,
this could very easily have been like devolved into a slap fight, basically. But the way they
right.
choreograph it is so good.
No, agreed. Agreed. It's a slap fight with guns, basically. So they end the fight when Preston finally gets the drop on DuPont, but DuPont yells, "Stop, wait, don't shoot me. I'm feeling, and you don't want to take my life now that you know I'm feeling, right?" And Preston's like, "Yeah, that's a price I'll pay." And he shoots DuPont dead, just shoots him anyway.
I'm sorry, what did he think was gonna happen? No,
Right?
don't you understand? I've been lying this whole time. I have
Uh,
emotions. I haven't been following the rules. How many millions of people have you killed in the name of not feeling?
I know. I think it's rude of him to be feeling while he's slaughtering all these people. How dare that makes him even more evil though, so I'm happy he
Right?
dies.
That's
Um
the other thing. Does that mean that Tay Diggs is not on, like, is he, because he does talk about adjusting his dose. Maybe he's on, like, a Flintstones chewable version of the drug or something.
yeah, he's on Prosium Light.
Not Prosium extra strength.
Right.
Maximum strength. Prosium.
So Preston next goes into the main computer hub, question mark. I don't know what this place is. The employees, though, immediately see him and they're like, nope. And they peace out real quick, all of them. I always laugh at that.
Honestly, I don't blame them at all.
No. And then Preston proceeds to blow up every monitor and all the equipment in the room, just blows it up. So then we see all the monitors out in the city and on the blimp things all going dark. And then Preston watches out of the tower as we see bombs going off now all over the city. So the resistance knows father is dead. We cut to shots of Preston's little girl with the puppy. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
We see the son. We see Jurgen. They're smirking and smiling. They're happy this shit's happening. Then we see
Oh,
people
yeah.
with guns overrunning all of the buildings and shooting dead all the Grammaton people. Then Preston stands overlooking all of this, holding the red ribbon in his hand, and he smiles as we zoom in on his face. Cut to black, the end, roll credits. And that is Equilibrium. So, what do you think about this ending? Is it just basically it didn't need to be anything else, really, right? We just need to know the resistance is rising now?
Yeah, I really like the subtlety of the ending because you get to see the little smirk on the kids' faces as they realize that, oh, this is happening, and Dad got through it. And then you get to see the ending shot of Christian Bale's little smirk is just perfect. And like he finally allows himself just a little tiny bit of happiness, like
Agreed.
a little bit of satisfaction.
And this is a
Uh,
long runtime. It's an hour 47, so I don't need it to drag on. Like it works for me as is.
yeah, it really does feel like it's more of a 90-minute film because it just keeps going and going and going. Like, and the action set pieces are very nicely spaced, and the dialogue, that the exposition is very is very punchy. It's not drawn out, and it's most of the exposition is happening while they're like sword fighting, or
Hmm.
they're interrogating somebody, or there's about to be an execution. So like if there's other things going on. It's not just someone like, let me explain the world for 5 minutes while we pause everything else.
Agreed. Well, that's the end of the film. So, was there anything, any little last point or thing you wanted to point out that we didn't get to?
Oh, the TV crew in the media room totally gave me Willy Wonka vibes. That's for a second
So
viewing.
their
Like the
outfits,
outfits are totally the outfits that they're wearing in the TV room in Willy Wonka. And
I
I
can
wonder if
see
that was
that.
on purpose. Like,
I can see
um,
that. That's good.
I was gonna say, this movie came out the same year as Reign of Fire, which is another Christian Bale film that
I love it.
was largely underappreciated. Very interesting concept for the time, especially.
Hmm. With
Um,
dragons. Come on.
Dragons, the fact that they were bold enough to do a movie with dragon effects like that, and they still kind of hold up, is very impressive. But
Agreed. All right. This is the part of my show where, in my other seasons, I used to wrap up with 3 questions, but I have changed the format this year. So, what I'm doing now is we're going to jump to ratings and reviews. So, I'm going to
ah,
read you a couple of reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, and I want your
oh no,
thoughts. I want your thoughts on these. Okay.
oh no.
This person in 2019 gave it half a star.
Wow.
This is
All
what they
right.
had to say. Let's hear your thoughts. Nearly unwatchable, painfully obvious. I had to fast forward. Save yourself
So
the trouble. You'll never get back the time. Just read Brave New World instead, or watch a science fiction that takes the effort to make the world believable. Half a star.
this guy's at least 75. There's no. Be sure to read Aldous Huxley's Brave New World with your phonograph record in the background. What? I give it half a star. It's not a very good science fiction picture.
All right, so this next one was from 2015. They gave it 3.5 stars. It
Okay.
is Equilibrium is a lot like The Matrix and is kind of an unofficial remake,
What? What?
but I still like it. Besides the fact that it copes other movies, I think
It
they meant
cope
copies.
definitely copies.
3.5 stars out of 5, though. An unofficial remake of The Matrix.
Yeah, 2 years after the first one
What?
came out. Okay,
So,
so my thoughts on that
yeah,
copy. Okay, it does very much have vibes. Like it's definitely gives 1984 vibes for sure. But I mean, how do you not? How do you not have a setting like this and not go that direction?
right.
Even the way that they show, because when there's not televisions per se in in this universe, it's more like a projector that doesn't cast any shadows.
Yeah.
So that's very much 1984 and the way the offices are set up and just the brutalist architecture. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, I can't really think of a lot of action films that came out prior to 2002 that did things like that. Obviously The Matrix is one of the exceptions, but they even did some stuff that they didn't do in The Matrix because
Yeah.
they were focusing more on like getting the choreography and the gunplay and everything down. They didn't have the budget to do like bullet time and all kinds of crazy effects. Oh, I also heard that there apparently is no wire work in this movie at all.
I know. I love that so much about this. Okay, let me give you another guy who didn't appreciate this. He
No.
gave it 1 star. It's a nice, short, concise review. He says,
Oh, no.
I started to watch the movie and it sucks. It is terrible, boring, and way too much murder going on for no reason. 1 star.
I
For
mean, you just
no
described
reason?
World War One.
What movie was he watching? For no reason, apparently. Murder.
Not terrible, boring. Yeah.
It kills me so much. All right, let's jump to this. The fourth one is a half a star. He
Mm.
says Nazis against vintage collectors. Okay. Terrible
What?
movie. Terrible movie with more holes than plot. Half a star.
He's one of the
And
gun gate people then. He must be one of the people that's like, well, wait, how did he get the gun? But then he did the thing.
all right, I saved the best one for last.
Oh boy.
This one's from 2014. This person says, Sean Bean dies yet again. 4 stars.
I mean, he does. He dies in almost everything he's in. So the time-honored tradition that Sean Bean should die.
I thought that was, yeah, that's fair. And gives it 4 stars anyway. So didn't get 5 because Sean Bean died, I guess. All right.
I mean, you gotta shave off a star if you kill off Sean Bean, but
That's how I feel about all the Sean Bean properties, yes. Well, that is going to wrap up our... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think like the one of the first movies he didn't die in was like some children's Christmas movie or something. It's like just a string of his character being killed off, and then like Winter Wonderland or something. It's like, oh okay.
Oh, I might have to find that, a movie where Sean Bean lives. That's a novelty.
Yeah, it's one of the rare ones where he doesn't die.
All right. Well, that is going to
how-
wrap up our discussion on Equilibrium. And like I said earlier, it was available for pay streaming on Amazon and YouTube, and apparently at this time free on Pluto. So check it out. I want to thank you so much for joining me today to talk this crazy movie that I love. I hope it was fun for you.
Oh, it was very fun. My face hurts from smiling.
Yay! Then we've done our job.
I love talking about movies so much.
I know. I'm so happy you wanted to do this one. I just feel like more people need to watch this movie, and they'll smile as much as we are. Is there anywhere, did you want to plug anything, or anywhere people can like reach out to you if they want to talk movies with you?
I don't really do a whole lot. I'm not really here trying to plug anything.
All right, everyone. So we've thanked Movie Night. We've thanked you for listening. And until next time, goodbye.
And you, Preston, the supposed savior of the resistance, are now its destroyer. And along with them, you've given me yourself. Calm. Cool. Entirely without incident.
Oh. Shit. Not without incident. I'll be back.
Get the fuck out of here! No, I cannot.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Why don't you get the fuck out of here? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey listeners, Movie Miss here. Listen, I know you have a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so thank you for listening to the show. I know everybody says this, but for a fledgling little show like ours that's just hanging on, it would really help us if you could subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Good Pods. We're also on Pandora, Audible, Amazon Music. It would really help us grow the show and reach more people if you could subscribe and then rate and review, which is really the key part of it. Make sure to be part of our bad movie conversation by following us on social media. Interact with me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Movie Miss, which is movie_miss. The show is on Instagram at Let's Talk Turkeys. Also on Bluesky at Let's Talk Turkeys and Facebook. You can also chat with like-minded bad movie lovers in our Facebook discussion group. Also, hit me up on socials if you want to be a guest on the show. Always looking for guests. I can assign you a movie, something we think is fun, or you can bring a movie that you think is a bad movie if it has a low Rotten Tomatoes score, or you just really don't like the movie but you like to talk about it. That's half the fun, I think. Again, this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it. Without you, the show wouldn't still be kicking around. So thank you so much for hanging in there with us.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.